Hello and welcome to Snipes Castle, Senior Chief's True Navy Sea Stories with myself, retired Senior Chief Daryl Starks, and my partner in crime, as usual. Not in crime, I don't want to call it crime. My partner in crime, retired Chief Dennis Bernini. What's up, Dennis?
What's going on, brother?
Doing good, doing good. All right, got another sea story. Either myself or Dennis or a guest will tell a sea story from our time in the world's greatest Navy. Some of these sea stories make you laugh, sad, and even mad at times. That's why I call it Senior Chief's True Navy Sea Story. So today, Dennis, today, I got like one of these mysterious places that, I've heard about all through my career. 24 years in the Navy, the fifth floor. The fifth floor in the Navy is
Yeah.
what I'm going to talk about. All right. It's on the fifth floor at Portsmouth Naval Hospital in Portsmouth, Virginia. All right. Very important place
Yep.
for people with have some psychiatric issues. And they treat our sailors there to get them better to come back out to the fleet at a better version of themselves. All right. But sometimes uh, sailors are sent there that don't realize that they don't need to be there. They shouldn't be there. And when they get there, they find out that they don't actually have any kind of psychiatric problem. It's actually a problem with their possible performance or whatnot. That's something that they need to correct. And they find that out real quick when they get there. And this one person found that out. And it can be a hindrance and even detrimental to your career
Right.
if you go to the fifth floor. All right. As I'm going to demonstrate in this story, as I tell you this story. So, this one happened on board the USS Fort Sherman, DDG 78, one of my favorite ships. Crew on there, outstanding. Great people, outstanding people. People I put on the pedestal, just great people. So, as you know, being a GS, we go through these inspections
Sure.
cycles,
Yeah.
these training cycles, they call them, called mobs, and they can be brutal sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, but this one was especially sort of brutal. You have to, ATG comes on, gives you this big list of things, and then you have to go out and correct these things to get the ship ready to go through uh, the final inspection when they come on board and they do this final inspection. And we was working late hours. Working late hours. This one fireman we had, took issue with all these late working hours. Got upset and said some things that were were not good, not good at all about his chief. Said some things that made people look okay. Uh, he's got some major problems. Saying something like that while active duty in the Navy on board ship to his direct chief petty officer. So they took him to Doc. That's his first stop. Of course, I guess Doc does his evaluation, speaks to the guy, and the medical personnel who was in there at the time decided that he needed to go for psychiatric evaluation at the fifth floor in Portsmouth Naval Hospital. All right. So I didn't take him. Yeah, I didn't take him. Someone else drove him there to Portsmouth Naval Hospital for 72-hour evaluation. And this is like one of my best watch standards, of course. Of course, one of my best watch standards. So now I got to juggle this watch, this
Gap.
watch, this watch bill again. I've been juggling this watch bill like crazy, you know, because of course we minimum manned at the time. So every personnel that's on this watch that's in the department right now is
Yeah.
important.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, because I need everybody on watch. I mean, I barely got a watch, off watch. I got 3 sections. I barely got 3 sections. The 2 drilling sections, and then you got this off watch section
Yeah.
that comes on after the drilling, which is basically ETT. Basically, ETT is that off watch section, right?
Yeah.
So we send this fireman to, no, he's a third class. He's a third class at the time. He's a third class, sorry. Send his third class to Portsmouth. 72-hour evaluation. 72 hours pass. He comes back. I'm happy because he's outstanding sound security. He's just one of them watch standards. Like, I know with him, when
Yeah.
we do that class Charlie fire drill,
You want to
I
have him on your team.
yeah,
That's right.
I got him. I got that drill in the bag. No problem. I'm gonna go pass that drill with him because he's on point. All right. So in that morning, when he came back, of course, he comes back with a, well, first of all, before we get there, they say, hey, uh, DC3, uh, Salvador is ready to come back. Salvador is ready to come back, right? So I say, I'll go pick. It's like the end of the day and we
Yeah.
still working. So I was like, I'll go pick him up. I'll go pick him up. I've never been to the fifth floor before, and all throughout my career, I've heard about the fifth floor. People, make comments about it. Oh, you going to the fifth floor? So
Yeah.
I was always, it was always this, you know, this question: what is this place? What is this place? And you had your own, thoughts about it.
Yeah.
So I go to the fifth floor to pick up Salvador. Oh my gosh, to pick up Salvador, and I get there. I asked where to get there. I go there, and then it's this large metal door.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Still there.
yeah, it's a large metal door. You push the button to be buzzed in. They buzz me in. I go in, and on both sides are rooms with
Yeah.
glasses, I guess,
Yeah.
for evaluation. And I was walking. There's one guy in the room, and he's just looking at me. And I'm looking at him out the corner of my eye. I already got these notions in my head. I'm like, okay, they got this guy looking at me, and I'm walking in, you know. So I'm like, man, I mean, it's open. It's open. My notion was, they got everybody in locked rooms, in the rubber room or whatnot. But it's like an open area. There's a table there,
Yeah.
TV going, front desk is right there. And this is like a calm area, I guess, for people to decompress.
Yeah.
That's basically it, and I guess they go talk to the doctor during the day or whatnot. But I get there and it's really a lax place. So I go to the front desk and young lady behind the desk, I was like, hey, I'm here to pick up Petty Officer Salvador. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's ready for discharge today. So she calls him to come. Salvador comes all dressed, ready to go. He's like, oh my God, senior. Oh my God, senior. I'm so glad to see you, man. I'm so glad to see you. Oh man, come on, man. I'm ready to get out of here, man. Man, there's some crazy motherfuckers up in here. he said, this is the person we sent to get evaluated, and he's coming out. And he's saying, man, I'm ready to leave out of here. I shouldn't even be in here. So he figured out that he shouldn't even be in there. He already figured out he shouldn't be in there because there are actual people that
Yeah.
have actual issues that
Actually.
need to
Yeah.
be there to get better.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, he signed his name on that checkout sheet. And I mean, he basically made a beeline to that door, pushing the button, trying to get out. I'm just steadily walking behind him. He's like, man, this door ain't opening, man. This door ain't opening. I mean, he wanted out of there. He
Yeah.
wanted out of there. So we get out, we get back. The next day, I got my watch stander back. I got my my top washstander back. Sound security got him back. I'm happy. I was like, yeah, boy, we can smoke them drills today. So I get a call on the phone, and we was doing quarters, officers call in the log room. And Matt McGregor, shout out to Matt McGregor out there, Master Chief out there. Matt McGregor gave me a call and called me back to repair. I think it's repair 3 Alpha. Is it 3 Alpha? The little small repair locker right there. Back by,
Oh,
but I can't remember what it's called. It's just real small. It's almost like a little office back there.
okay.
But it's a small repair locker right there. And I went back there, and Mac said, hey man, I'm sorry to tell you this, but Salvador said some things when he was on the 5th floor that were not right. The doctors found that was not right. And whatever he said when he was being evaluated, he was to be transferred off that ship out of the Navy today. Out. I mean, gone. I'm like, what? I mean, what? It's like, yeah, he's out of the Navy. He's gone today. Out of the Navy. And I didn't know you could process somebody out that fast.
Wow.
But yeah, oh yeah. I guess they got a special folder where you could process somebody because he was off that ship that day with a manila folder in his hand, out the Navy. Out the Navy, man. So whatever
That
he
is crazy.
said, so whatever he said when he was being evaluated up on the 5th floor was just so bad that the doctor, I guess, diagnosed him that he is not fit to be in the Navy. And this was such a good sailor, awesome sailor, awesome washstander, great worker, no issues out of this guy. And he goes to the 5th floor and says something, and now he's out of the Navy. Out of the Navy because of something he said, which is crazy, but because he was gone that day. And so my thing is, I there are some people that have legitimate problems that
Yeah.
need to go to the 5th floor and uh, get become a better version of themselves, get some counseling, get some downtime. Once you're ready to come back, hey, come on back to the ship,
Yeah.
you know. And then there are some people that just, get to the stressed, they get stressed, they're sent there, and they need help too as well. But just make sure you say, you say you don't say some crazy things that'll get you kicked out,
Yeah.
that possibly released. And he said some things. I don't know what he said. I remember he got out, and I remember him starting like a t-shirt business. He started like a t-shirt business, t-shirts that were uh, made with hemp. And I bought some couple of t-shirts from him. Them shirts lasted forever, man. They wouldn't rip or anything. I'm serious. This
Wow.
handmade t-shirt. I'm like, God, man, this thing won't rip. That lasted forever. But yeah, he got out and did fairly well for himself. But that's the story about the 5th floor. It is a resource uh, that can be used for people that have psychiatric issues that can go there, like I said, get the help they needed, and then get reintegrated back into the fleet so they can be a better version of themselves. But in this case, it was actually hopefully it helped them, but they found out, I guess, too much information, which actually got him uh, discharged from the military, from the Navy.
Yeah, I think the going to the psychiatric ward and go to emergency room to get assessed for any mental disability or any of that nature is a good thing. I have taken two sailors before in the past and both of them got help that they needed. And I think one of them is still serving. The other one got out just because he wanted to get out.
Hmm.
Uh, and I, even myself, I started seeking help back in 2019, and I've been in therapy. So it's the psychiatric ward is definitely a good resource if sailors need it. But there's the ones that make the wrong decision to use that as a crutch to further their agendas, I guess, so to speak.
I know
Uh,
what you mean. Yeah.
and then it could lead the I don't want to say the wrong path, but it could definitely create problems down the road. So just like have to be mindful of that as well, because once those notes go in your record, that's kind of affects your medical sustainability and your which then affects everything else after that.
Most definitely. Most definitely. All right. So be mindful about what you say to someone on board the ship, because it could get you sent to medical, you being evaluated and sent to the fifth floor. All right. Which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but try to maintain your composure at all times. All right. I know it gets rough out. I know it gets rough out there. Trust me. Rough, stressful. And sometimes, really, I remember one time an admiral said a little bit of stress is good for you. All right. A stress meaning go watch my video with Master Chief Amari Ponciano and the story about him and his shipmates on board the USS Cole when they got bombed. Now that's stress. That's stress. You seeing shipmates dead in the P-way, blown to bits. That's stress right there. All right. This is an inspection. This is an inspection that you're going through. Of course, it's stress. You got stresses on board the ship, got stresses out at home. All right. But then there are max stresses, like I was just talking about, a bombing. So those inspections are to push you a little bit, stress you out to see how you function in those situations, so you can save the ship,
Right.
uh, prevent the ship from going dead in the water, prevent the ship from burning up, flooding. All right. So always be mindful of the stressors around you. Maintain your stress. Deal with your stress.
Yeah.
Go work out. Eat healthy. Do what is necessary. There are all kinds of resources available. I remember Doc had pamphlets out there about stress that you can read on it. They're not stupid.
Yeah.
Read about them. Read it and
Yeah.
utilize what they have in those pamphlets to help you get through uh, that stressful time. All right. So
Yeah.
you be a better version of yourself.
And now with talking about mental health, there's so many more resources that have been during our times when we served.
Hmm.
It's just you just have to ask for help. You can't just sit around and wait for something to happen. You need to if you feel like you have an issue, you need to bring it up and ask for help. Otherwise, that issue just could escalate and never get resolved, and it could create more problems like in this story.
Yeah.
So just be mindful of that.
All right. If you know of any sea stories about or have any experiences with the fifth floor, let us know in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. That's been another sea story from Senior Chief's True Navy Sea Stories. It's me, Daryl Starks, and my buddy, Dennis Burtonini, again with another sea story for you. And thank you for joining us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe again, and join us again for another exciting Navy Sea story. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.